Have you ever wondered why narcissistic leaders seem to always fail in the end? Today, we're going to explore the toxic traits that ultimately lead to their downfall. From their inflated sense of self-importance to their unrealistic expectations, we'll dive into the behaviors that make narcissistic leaders crash and burn. We'll also look at how their lack of empathy affects team morale and collaboration, and how their tendency to take credit for others' work can cause resentment and disengagement. Plus, we'll examine the short-term successes that often mask deeper issues, ultimately leading to their downfall. So, let's get started and find out why narcissistic leaders always seem to fail in the end. Narcissistic leaders often have an inflated sense of their own self-importance. They genuinely believe they're superior to others and that their ideas are the only ones that matter. This mindset can be incredibly damaging, as it blinds them to reality and prevents them from listening to feedback or constructive criticism. Their grandiosity is often accompanied by a sense of entitlement, which can lead them to take advantage of others and exploit their power. This, in turn, can create a toxic work environment where employees feel undervalued and unappreciated. As a result, narcissistic leaders often struggle to build and maintain healthy relationships with their team members. They may surround themselves with yes-men and sycophants who are too afraid to speak out against them. But the consequences of their actions can be devastating. Their team members may start to feel unvalued, unheard, and unappreciated, leading to a decline in morale and productivity. Narcissistic leaders are also notorious for their lack of empathy. They simply don't care about the feelings or needs of others as long as they get what they want. This can lead to a culture of fear and paranoia, where employees are too scared to speak up or share their concerns. When team members do try to share their ideas or concerns, narcissistic leaders often shut them down or dismiss them as stupid or irrelevant. This can be incredibly demotivating, leading to a decline in engagement and collaboration. As a result, teams led by narcissistic leaders often struggle to work together effectively. There's a lack of trust, a lack of communication, and a lack of collaboration. And ultimately, this can lead to the downfall of the organization as a whole. Narcissistic leaders are also infamous for taking credit for others' work. They'll often present their team members' ideas as their own, without giving credit where credit is due. This can be incredibly demotivating, as team members feel that their hard work and effort are going unnoticed. When team members do call them out on it, narcissistic leaders often become defensive or aggressive, trying to justify their behavior or shift the blame onto others. This can create a toxic work environment where team members feel unvalued and underappreciated. As a result, team members may start to feel resentful and disengaged. They may stop contributing their ideas or effort, leading to a decline in productivity and innovation. Narcissistic leaders also set unrealistic expectations, which can lead to burnout and high turnover rates. They'll often push their team members to work longer hours, sacrifice their personal lives, and meet impossible deadlines. When team members do try to push back or set boundaries, narcissistic leaders often become angry or vindictive, trying to intimidate or bully them into submission. This can create a culture of fear and anxiety, where team members feel that they're walking on eggshells all the time. As a result, team members may start to feel overwhelmed, stressed, and undervalued. They may start to look for new job opportunities, leading to high turnover rates and a decline in organizational performance. Narcissistic leaders are also notorious for their fear of losing control. They'll often micromanage their team members, trying to dictate every step of the process and every decision they make. This can be incredibly stifling, as team members feel that they're not trusted to make their own decisions or take their own initiative. It can also lead to a lack of innovation and creativity, as team members are too afraid to try new things or take risks. As a result, teams led by narcissistic leaders often struggle to adapt to change or innovate. They're stuck in a culture of fear and control, where creativity and innovation are suffocated. Short-term successes can often mask deeper issues in organizations led by narcissistic leaders. They may achieve some initial success or growth, but it's often at the expense of their team members' well-being or the organization's long-term sustainability. However, eventually, the cracks will start to show. The team members will start to burn out, the culture will become toxic, and the organization will start to decline. In the end, narcissistic leaders always crash and burn because of their own toxic traits. They may achieve some initial success, but it's never sustainable in the long run. We've seen it time and time again throughout history. From Enron's Jeff Skilling to Theranos as Elizabeth Holmes, narcissistic leaders have been responsible for some of the most spectacular failures in business history. Their stories serve as a warning to us all. Narcissistic leaders may charm and manipulate their way to the top, but ultimately, their toxic traits will be their downfall. So, what are the key takeaways from today's video? Narcissistic leaders are characterized by their inflated sense of self-importance, lack of empathy, tendency to take credit for others' work, unrealistic expectations, fear of losing control, and short-term focus. These traits may lead to some initial success, but they'll ultimately be the downfall of the organization. So, let's all learn from the examples of narcissistic leaders who have failed before us. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any thoughts on narcissistic leadership, be sure to share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on personal growth.